Hey guys, in this video I'll be doing a side-by-side comparison between the SD1970 sterile dial version and the SD1970 with logo version. So both of them come in a hard plastic case, very well protected. And right off the bat we have a strap changing tool made of plastic. We have the stainless steel oyster bracelet, and we also have a steel strap changing tool and pins. Now you might be wondering why the watch isn't on the strap bracelet. I had specifically instructed the seller on AliExpress to have it removed, simply because I've read online how painful it is to do that yourself, and I don't really want to scratch the watch while attempting to do that. Of course, we have the watch wrapped in plastic. Oh wow, so this is the sterile dial version. Excellent. Very good sample here. Looks like I got lucky here. I don't see any scratches or scuffs, the way it should be. But I've read on various forums, and I've watched on various watch reviews how theirs arrived scuffed and scratched. Luckily mine doesn't have those. Still has its protective sticker intact. I'm going to keep it that way because I'm not decided yet what to wear, whether the sterile dial version or the one with the logo. And you also have the warranty card. Oh, funny how they left out all the details here. Not much of an international warranty without those details. Oh, that's funny. Obviously it's just for presentation. And you also have the Steeldive instructions. We have different Steeldive logos here. I guess they're trying to pull off what Seiko has done with their various lines. So Seiko has their Seiko 5 lines, the Pro Specs, all the way up to the Grand Seiko. Now I think that's what Steeldive is trying to do right here. Okay, I'm going to toss everything in, set it aside. There you go. We have the sterile dial version, and now I'm going to open the other one. Right. So same contents here. Just a quick check. Yes. And we also have the watch. Of course. Alright, take a look at the detail there. Interesting. So we have the one with the logo. So the logo is visible on the dial, the crown, and the case back. I think it's supposed to be this way. Let me just work on my focus right there. So it shows you a graphic of a scuba diver. So there's the goggles, the flippers, and the oxygen tank. All laser engraved with the details, NH35 movement, 200 meters, all stainless steel. Now clearly Steeldive has upped the diver watch game. I mean, for the fraction of the price of a Seiko, you get all these upgrades. Ceramic bezel insert, sapphire crystal, 200-meter rating. What more can you ask for $100 each? Can't really go wrong with either here. Take a look at that beauty. Wow. So I got lucky with both samples here. Both of them are very good samples without any flaws aesthetically. Now, performance wise, I'm going to have to put them on my wrist, test them for a couple of days. Okay, I'm going to put both of them on a waffle strap. And just a piece of advice, if you're going to put them on a waffle strap, just do what I did, request the seller to have the watch removed from the stainless steel bracelet, and just order the rubber watch strap from another seller. It's cheaper that way. Steeldive sells them for more than $10. So it's either you order it on a rubber strap or a stainless steel bracelet. Now I went with the stainless steel bracelet, but I had them removed. And I purchased the rubber strap from another seller, and that way I have both options, rubber strap and stainless steel bracelet. So amazing. So this sterile dial right here was my first choice. Then about 5 days later, I was starting to lose sleep. And I was wondering, what if I just had ordered the one with the logo? And I said, you know what? I'm not gonna lose any more sleep over this. Why not just order both for $100, right? So there you go. I have both. I'm planning to wear one as a daily beater, and I'm gonna keep the other maybe for future gift giving. Speaking of which, I have this. So this is technically my first ever Steeldive, which I had purchased last November on the November 11th sale, annual sale on AliExpress. And I decided to give it as a gift to my nephew last Christmas. He was just starting his watch collection back then. And just a way to help out my nephew. So it comes on an oyster bracelet. So one detail I love about the Captain Willard Homage is actually the crown guards. See how it hugs the crown. Now you're gonna compare it with my Blurtle right here, SRP 773 or Blue Turtle. You see that the crown guards on the turtles are actually dimpled. And I just like the aesthetic of the Captain Willard better than the Seiko turtles. And of course, you have all the upgrades, as I mentioned. As you can see on my Blurtle, there's already visible scratches on the aluminum bezel insert. And there might be some on the Hardlex crystal. Seiko markets the Hardlex crystal as scratch resistant. Now the keyword there is resistant. It's not as durable as the sapphire crystal and the ceramic bezel insert, which are virtually both scratch proof. Well, unless you run into somebody wearing a watch with a diamond, right? So amazing detail right there. So I think modders find the sterile dial version more appealing just because of the ease of modding it, right? So it doesn't have any identifiers on the crown and the case back, so you could just simply swap in a 6105 dial right there, which are available aplenty, by the way, on AliExpress. But I think I'm just going to keep it that way. It adds mystique to it without any of the brandings on it. It's just to tell time. That's the function of a watch, right? So I've seen a lot of modders mod their Seikos into sterile dials. This is an example of that. So this is an SRPD for 5KX. I got this from a fellow collector. I no longer have the original dial or the chapter ring inside and the bezel insert, but that's fine because these are all upgrades. Now I have ordered a yellow dial that features the day date window because, as you know, these 5KXs have a 4R36 movement in it. So that's the day and the date complication. And I don't think this dial does it justice. So I'm not able to take advantage of the full features of this watch without the day. So this is going to be the subject of another video. I'm just waiting on the dial that I had ordered on AliExpress. So back to the side-by-side comparison with my Blurtle. Clearly, the Steeldive 1970, also known as Captain Willard, holds its own. It's known as Captain Willard because Martin Sheen wore the Seiko 6105 in the movie Apocalypse Now. And that particular model was released in 1970. So in my humble opinion, this is the best Homage watch that there is on the planet. And there's a reason to that. It pays tribute to a Seiko while having a Seiko in-house movement inside, the NH35, as we had mentioned earlier. Wouldn't it be more appealing to you if a Homage watch featured an in-house movement of the actual article that it was paying tribute to? Say, for example, if there was a Rolex Homage with a Rolex in-house movement inside, would you be able to resist that? Right? So, Steeldive, I think, is the Asian version of a Steinhardt. Steinhardts also pay tribute to Swiss brands, while the Steeldive pays tribute to Seiko. Now, Seiko realized how popular this Homage watch was, and they released their own version of a Captain Willard. But they retail for as much as 1,800 bucks. Which, to be honest with you, even for half that price, I don't think it's worth it spending on a Seiko. I have a certain threshold for a Seiko, and that's nothing above 500 bucks. For that price, I'd rather take my chances on a used Omega off eBay. So, what do you guys think? Which is more appealing? The sterile version or the one with the logo? I have a soft spot for the sterile version due to its simplicity. But the more that I stare at the one with the logo, it grows on me. Steeldive did a fantastic job with the logo. Scuba diver, right there, goggles, flippers, oxygen tank. Flip it around, it becomes a rocketeer. Arms, legs, and jetpack. Right? Amazing. Another detail I want to add about the sterile dial version, is that there's actually a history behind that. So if you research on the web, back in the 1940s, higher end watches like the Panerai Radiomir actually had the sterile dial version, and there was reason to that. So between the Allied powers and the Axis powers, Giuseppe Panerai was caught in between. So the Germans ordered watches from Giuseppe Panerai for their military, And it was speculated that the Germans didn't really pay anything for the watches that they had ordered, and they were constantly making threats to Giuseppe Panerai. So Giuseppe Panerai, what he did was to speed up the process, he left out those details on the dial, and that also served another purpose, which was actually very smart of him. By doing so, by leaving out the brand on the dial, in case the Allied powers captured the Germans, they wouldn't be able to trace the watches back to Giuseppe Panerai without any markings on the watch itself. So he played it safe that way. And it's just so clean to look at. Even the Rolexes, the Submariners, casebacks are actually sterile, right? So if you want to mod the watch, go with the sterile dial version. But if you want to brag about being a watch aficionado, being a fan of the Homage watches, then go with the one with the logo. Yeah. Either way, can't go wrong. It's not gonna break the bank. It's only $100. So, thank you very much for watching this video, and stay tuned for more videos about watches and whatnot. Hit subscribe. Let me know in the comments below which you prefer, the one with the logo or the sterile dial version. Thank you guys. See you next time.